harried emails that come my way. Oh, hey, we're being live streamed. Hey, we did it. Oh, cool.
Yay.
And then then I have to make sure I close that window or something like that. It gets really complicated. Roxanne Palmer is here. Oh my gosh, Roxanne. Hi. I hope we get to see your little one.
Oh, look at that.
Harried emails that come my way. Oh, there we go. I'm on YouTube, so hang on. Hey, we did it. Oh, cool. Then I have to make sure okay, we're good. So if you guys don't all mind, I will share my screen. I'll just give you a quick introduction about SAW and some things we're up to. And then I'll hand it on to Ellen. Ellen, I'm so glad you're here, by the way.
Oh my
so glad you could.
I'm so excited to be here.
Yeah, I'm going to mute everybody with the exception of Alan, who's the co-host. Okay, so I would share my screen, didn't I? We'll get through this kind of quickly. So welcome. These are the Friday night workshops. I'm really happy that you're all joining us for them. And we took them over from The Believer back when they stopped running them, I guess. And we're just really pleased to offer them. They've been a really nice thing during the pandemic and just in general. So you're at the Sequential Artists Workshop. You can find us at sawcomics.org or sometimes learn.sawcomics.org. We're a nonprofit. We're a 501c3 nonprofit. Means, well, I'll tell you what that means in a second, but we have lots of online courses. Oops, there we go, including some that are coming up soon. Next week, which is February 4th, not the 5th. Our Friday night workshop is with MJ Robinson. They call it X Marks the Spot. And I'm not really sure what that means. So I like when they're a bit of a surprise. They're always a bit of a surprise. We've got some mentoring and a 4-week class with Leela Corman starting March 2022. Well, that's March. One of my favorite courses is coming up soon, and it's one that I teach. It's called Going In for the Snakes. And that's coming in March too. We haven't set an exact date, but it's early March. It's learn.sawcomics.org. Quick mention of our, we really love your donations because we are a nonprofit, but we also give a lot of money away, and we give a lot away in tuition, and you can read more about it here. And there are ways to support us on Patreon, Venmo, and PayPal and stuff like that. We have some ongoing groups which are always open to join. The Saw Flow and Publish group is our most sort of easy to enter and affordable group, and we publish your work 4 times a year, and we do weekly exercises and all sorts of cool things. And if you're working in memoir, you might want to take a look at the graphic memoir and medicine group run by Beth Tremblay, who I think is probably here. And it's really a wonderful thing, goes pretty deep. What else is on here? Oh, please share your work tonight. We probably won't get to see everyone on screen, but we'll try. But if not, please share it on social media with the hashtag Friday Night Comics, and you can tag us at Comics Workshop. And I assume if Ellen has a hashtag or an @ symbol thing, what do you call it, username to share, she'll do that. And you can join us anytime at members.sawcomics.org, where we are sharing things all the time. It's public, it's free. You can join with one click through Facebook or Google or anything like that. It looks like that. We have lots of activity in there all the time. We have tons of events. I can't even keep track of them all, to be honest. And again, SAW survives from tuitions and donations. So you can support us at paypal.me/comicsworkshop or patreon.com/sawcomics. Our URLs are always different. And also go check us out again, members.sawcomics.org. Okay, here we go. Please no inappropriate speech or imagery. Hopefully everybody understands that, and enjoy. Thank you for being here. I'm sorry that went on longer than usual, but I think as we'll just, let's see, how do I stop sharing? There we go. Okay. And again, I'll be monitoring the chat. And again, I'll also post a lot of what I just said in the chat as well, with some links and stuff. And Yes, it's funny that I'm under a bed, someone says. I'm going to mute myself. I'm going to stop my video and just sort of monitor the chat and stuff like that. So thank you so much for being here. I'm so glad that oh, and also please tell us about your book. So if you just tell us what's happening and tell us everything about yourself, and especially when your book's coming out. Okay, that's enough for me. Thanks everybody for being here. Thanks.
Thank you, Tom. Well, I see a lot of folks I know and a lot of folks I'm seeing for the first time. I'm so excited that we are all here together in this remarkable space offered by SAW. These Friday night workshops are just one example of the generous, creative, community-focused spirit that I associate with SAW. For those who haven't already, I highly recommend checking out their courses, their workshops. I took my first class starting last June and loved it. And I am so honored to be here. And my heart is beating very fast. The desire to write and draw from my life and the life around me came at an early age. This is from when I was 7. I don't know if you can read it, but it says the fun book. And there's my address is up here. And I hadn't looked at this for decades. And I was really delighted to find that a lot of what I was doing when I was 7 are things I'm doing now. I haven't done so, but now through diary comics, including writing my own poems and rhymes. I don't know if you can see it. And here's a story about being the size of an ant and having ant friends, which it just makes me laugh because right now the story that I'm working on involves my love of insects as a kid and other things. Here's some drawings of people from my 2nd grade class. Not too flattering, but yeah, animals in my life that I loved. And lastly, a list of this. I just had to laugh. The end of it, I stopped doing the poems and the stories, and so much of this largely because I learned that I wasn't so good at stories and poems, drawing when I was people, friends, and my family. And I received the message, I think many of us did, that you don't do something unless you're good at it. I am going to start sharing my screen now. I did eventually study art in my late 20s, largely thanks to Julia Cameron's book, The Artist's Way, and wrote certain things over the years. Even self-published a book of paintings and stories in 2005. However, it wasn't until the eve of 2018 when a sister gifted me Linda Berry's syllabus that I became interested in making diary comics. And I began by following her diary X page. And if you look at this in the left quadrant, you write what you saw during the day, the top, what you did, on the right, what you heard, and on the bottom, a quick drawing from the day. And she recommends not taking more than 5 or 6 minutes. I did them for months, nearly every day, sometimes just at the end of the day. Sometimes I would bring the notebook around with me and fill it in throughout the day. And And it became a great way to be an observer of life, to notice what I was noticing and to notice more things. After doing the diary X pages for some months, I began making single panel drawings, combining it in the day with it. And this was the second one that I did. It's an ink and colored pencil. And when reflecting on the day, the thing that felt most vibrant was the morning walk. I was in a great mood. Nemo, my dog companion, was new to me, and I was delighting in people's admiration of his beauty. And there was a Joan Armatrading song in my head, and it was just this beautiful spring morning in July, where it's usually very hot. Here's another one I did just before Hurricane Florence hit North Carolina. This is ink and watercolor, a very different mood, different day. And then just after Hurricane Florence, this is done digitally on an iPad. And then this thing was a bit of a turning point. I had been feeling very lonely that morning. I was in a house of people I didn't know very well, heading up to visit family for Christmas. And I had gone down to the kitchen very early in the morning. I was the only one.
Hi, everybody. Okay, Ellen's frozen. So we can take a moment to, that looks like she's gonna have to reboot or something to come back. Do I know if Ellen's on Wi-Fi or hardwired? Yeah, I'm sure she is. Everybody's on Wi-Fi these days and not hardwired. It's a great question. But I'm seeing lots of old friends. I'll send Ellen a quick message and see if she's rebooting, including Jess Rollifson is here. Hi, Jess. Laura is hardwired, but that's not Ellen. Hi, Jess. Also, MJ, next week's host, is here. I don't know if MJ wants to say hello or even tell us something about next week's workshop. I'm seeing lots of other people from the SAW community, Sally and Erla. This is like, Susan, what is it? Romper room, right? Where you go like, I see so-and-so and so.
Exactly.
Right, right. Oh boy, we've lost Ellen for a considerable amount of time. And I don't have her text number in order to text her and say, we need you back.
I think she may have a lot of friends from other communities. If anybody's
I was going to say, I can text her if you ask.
Oh yeah, somebody can text her and tell her we lost her at about the time she showed the picture from Princeton, New Jersey. That would be great. And also somebody's asking if you can remove the text at the bottom. I think you can, but I'm not sure how. But maybe we leave that up for people that need to read. But I do think you are able to disable it if you don't want it. And I think it's in the in some of your settings.
Usually if you click the live transcript thing, there's a button.
There we go. MJ is chiming in, and yeah, and somebody else. Oh, and
yeah,
Michelle.
This is MJ. My video is not working right now, but I am leading next week's workshop, and it is sort of a memory hunting treasure map moment. So I think it will be a good follow-up to Ellen's diary comic session. So we'll be delving into some memory places that we remember. So I hope to see you next week.
Cool. We might need you in a couple minutes.
Yeah.
To fill in really fast. And I see Michelle over there in more sunlight than I've ever seen Michelle. That looks really nice out there.
I'm outside.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
Hey, hey, Ellen just texted me. She's going to try to reboot her computer.
Oh, goodness.
Thanks,
Any,
Dean. Her poor phone must be vibrating.
you know, maybe it's a good time to do a real quick recap of that Linda Berry's X. And I don't remember it precisely. I know it's like on the bottom is one thing you saw. Does anyone else remember some of the other three things? It might be just worth chatting about for a moment while Ellen reboots.
Alan sent a YouTube video that talks about it.
Oh, but then we'd all be like,
I know it's 7 things you saw,
7
things you did, and then there's different varieties. Sometimes it's something you overheard, and the point being to try to get you to learn, really listen to how people really speak. And then sometimes, she's got a different varieties, and then draw one of those things.
Right. And Roxanne is telling us that that's a 30-second drawing. So something you did, something you saw, something you heard. Yeah. Using those senses really, what did I hear today? What did I see today? What did I do today? Jen says I could share the screen and play it. I don't want to play a video for too long because Ellen could be here any second. Michelle, I was going to say, Michelle, what can you tell us? What's new in your world?
Are you talking to me?
Yeah.
Hot spotted.
I have a squirrel feeder in the corner of my yard. It's a basket on a plank, and I put food in it, and the crows have started coming too. I recommend it. I put my scraps out there, and they fight over it, and it's really funny.
Just tactic. Okay, you need a link to the Zoom, right? Okay, I'll
got a lot of O'Grady's on the call today. I think they're like NORAD here. They're trying to get Ellen back online.
So Ellen needs a link to get back in.
Can I email it to her? I already emailed it to her once. I'll need a moment. Is email the best way?
If you put it in the chat, somebody can text it to her.
Is it the same one that we came on?
And maybe someone can private message me her. Does she need to be on a phone? Is that what's best, or does she want to do it through her computer?
If anybody goes to participants and clicks the little arrow there, it says
I just put it in the chat. This is Sarah. Now it's going up the chat, but it's up there.
But again, I don't know if that's going to work unless she's able to get it.
Edit that would send it to her phone, not her computer.
Right. Yeah. So that's what I'm asking. Should I send her an email? I sent it to her.
Why don't we do both? Because she might have to call in from her phone.
Yeah. All right.
Susan, could we make an X and do the thing that you were describing from the book?
We could. Do you want us to do that, Tom?
Oh gosh, I wasn't prepared to lead that. I just wanted to keep us busy, and and exploring. But it's a good workshop. You, Susan, actually lead things like this pretty often. Is it something we should try? Oh, she just disappeared. Never mind.
No, I just had to go grab a book, right?
Oh, okay. Sure, we can all think about something we did, saw, and heard today. But then Ellen will come on and say, no, don't do that exercise. Do something else.
Well, then we'll abandon it, but well kept ourselves out of trouble between now and then.
Oh,
do you want?
Oh my gosh.
Oh, she's back. Awesome.
I'm going to spotlight Ellen so that the chaos is sort of like diffuses. There we go. Okay. Ellen, you're back.
I'm so sorry. I need to turn this around. I need to share my content again. So just, Tom, you need to make me the co-host again, I think.
Oh, right. Let's do that. And we lost you in Princeton, New Jersey, for what it's worth.
Yeah.
So, give me a second. Are you why don't I see you? Isn't that funny? Oh, there you are. Looks like you, oh yeah. Okay, there you go.
Okay. Okay. Let's see.
Yeah, you want to mute everybody, Tom?
Yeah. But that'll mute Ellen, so you'll have to unmute yourself, Ellen.
Okay. Bear with me.
We got you.
Okay. Okay. Sorry about that, folks. So I don't know where I left off exactly, but I was saying that this page, this drawing was kind of a turning point. Can anyone tell me, Tom, can you tell me where it cut off?
Right around now. I mean, you were saying you were in a home that you didn't know anybody, and then
Okay.
that was it.
Okay. So I went down early in the morning. I went down to the kitchen. I saw this this quote by Sarah Teasdale pinned to their calendar, and it struck me. So I wrote it down because I had this diary practice, and I went back upstairs and did this pencil drawing that included the quote. Look for a lovely thing and you'll find it. It's not far. It never will be far. And in the drawing, like while drawing, I just, my mood shifted, my perspective shifted. I felt very accompanied. And this would really foreshadow work that I would be doing in 2020 during the first year of the pandemic. So about this time, I was really started branching out, trying to work on multiple panel comics. And this was the second of a small series of comics I did using Peanuts characters. And in this one, I merged two things from my diary list. One, going over the previous day's comic of myself as Peanuts characters. And two, this very critical, angry voice in my head that I was yet again doing one more drawing experiment. And it was helpful. This particular drawing was helpful in helping me see how I can make panels work together to create a simple story. Slowly, I started feeling more comfortable making comics with panels. I still did a lot of experimentation with different layouts and different materials. I worked on black and white for a bit until I found that using a technical pen with a pretty thin nib was felt like a good place to stay for a while, doing that with watercolor. I started doing comics that rhymed, which delighted the 7-year-old in me. More rhyming comics. Some of the comics spanned the entire day, such as this one. Some were just moments of the day. Some started taking on more of my activism work. I think as I became more comfortable using with comic form and comic language. Finding my way with diary comics gave me confidence to create comics for others. Scalawag Magazine, No New Women's Prisons, Jewish Voice for Peace, and also to create zines and mini comics, including poem zines of some of my favorite poems and poets. I was very excited to get permission from Ross Gay to draw his poem, A Small Needful Fact. And I started a story, which I was working on in the SAW class, which I hope will lead to a graphic novel. So I'm going to end my presentation before we do our exercise together with 3 quotes. This was from last March. This is me with Nemo and our friend Scout, the day that I received Tom Hart's book. And it was the day also I found out about Saul, and I was hooked within a couple of paragraphs. And this moment would ultimately lead here with all of you to that past moment to this moment. And this is from one of my favorite cartoonists, Summer Pierre. She said in a talk, "Diary comics are one of the best things that ever happened to me, both in terms of being an artist and a human being." And I feel the same. And then lastly, this is one of my favorites from the Christian mystic Hildegard of Bingen. "We cannot live in a world that is not our own, in a world interpreted for us by others. An interpreted world is not home. Part of the terror is to take back our own listening, to use our own voice, to see our own light." So now we get to the fun part. If grab your favorite drawing instrument, if you have one, if you have a favorite, if not, a pen or pencil, whatever, and 2 pieces of paper. It could be paper in a notebook or just regular copy paper. And I'll give you a little moment to do that. And I'm going to look at our time. Unfortunately, because of the snafu, we're okay. We're at 7:30, so we're going to do this a little faster than I had planned, but that's okay, because sometimes drawing fast is it's really the best way to draw, because you don't overthink things. So you'll take we're going to make 4 panels. So if you have a single sheet and you want to make 4 panels by folding it twice, folding it lengthwise and then widthwise, or you can just draw 4 squares. If you fold it and you want to just draw in the where the crease is to create 4 panels, you can do it either way, horizontal or vertically. And I see some in the chat. Oh, okay. Tom's putting that quote in there. So yeah, you're going to draw the 4 panels. And does everyone have? Are we okay? Does everyone have a piece of paper? Okay. So actually, I skipped ahead. You're going to take another piece of paper that's blank. Again, it could be in your notebook, and you're going to divide that paper in half. And we're just going to do a little brainstorming. That in the top left, write the date. So write January 28th. And below that, on the left-hand corner, write "I remember." And on the right column, write "I saw." And now we're going to have 2 minutes. And under "I remember," you're just going to flow of consciousness, just whatever you remember from the day. And there might be overlap in the columns, and that's fine. Could be something very mundane, like I see that someone's confused, so don't worry, I'll go slower. You're just taking your 1 piece of paper, draw a let me just say it again. I'm really bad at following the messages, so I'm just going to describe it again, because it's pretty straightforward. Take 1 piece of paper, draw down the middle, and then I'll do this on the left side, the date, January 28th, and then under that, write "I remember," and on the right column, write "I saw." So just like this. And then we're going to take 2 minutes, and it doesn't matter if you right or left, doesn't matter which column is which. We're just going to take 2 minutes to storm what you remember from the day. It can be something very mundane, just let things come up. It could be something you heard. And I'm going to start that now. I'll give you a little warning before the 2 minutes is up. Ten more seconds to wrap up. Okay, now we're going to go to the right column, I saw, and we'll do the same thing. And again, there might be some overlap, but this just is another way to reach another part of your brain. So again, we're going to do 2 minutes, and I'll give you a little warning before the 2 minutes is over. We're just doing today. Ten more seconds. Okay. So now we're gonna take that second sheet, the one that where we drew the 4 panels. I apologize, they got a little flustered. We're gonna take our list and we're gonna use our list to either select one point and extend it through 4 panels. So it could be, I took a walk and you're gonna draw the walk through those 4 panels, or take 4 different points of those lists. And if you choose different points of the day or different, I suggest you include sort of daily things like putting milk in your coffee, with things that stand out, like a surprising interaction. And we're gonna have, I'm gonna shorten this a little bit. Let's just do 3 minutes per panel, so we have a little bit of time. Why froze?
I
no,
heard
I'm good.
you, Ellen.
Okay.
I think it was clear.
Okay. So so 4 panels. I'm gonna do, let's try it 3 minutes per panel. We'll start now. I recommend you put yourself in 3 of the panels. That way you have continuity. So you're choosing, I realize it's a little unclear to some folks. You're choosing, you're going to pick one thing from your list or 4 different things. If you want to choose one thing and spread it out over 4 panels, or choose 4 different things throughout the day. And then I'm just asking that you put your own, like you're drawing yourself in 3 of the panels. And I know that can be scary. It's not about the drawing, and stick figures are great. It's really about recording. And you can pick from either list. Words are great. If words or no words are great. Feel free to put dialogue in if there's any dialogue. The remember may not, someone's asking what's the difference between remember and saw. It's not necessarily different. Sometimes just by suggesting saw, people, it's something goes somewhere else in your brain, going to images. Oops. So that's the first panel. We'll go to the second panel. someone asked about sketching first, I would recommend just going right into whatever instrument, whatever drawing utensil you're using.
Ellen, do you have a recommendation for a good progression? Somebody's asking, and it's a good question.
It's a great question. I'm looking for, oh, is there, oh, yeah. There's different, oh, someone's asking what I'm drawing to. Okay, let me go for the first. Great, so the question is, how might we move from one panel to the next? Like, what is a good progression? One way, there's different ways to think about that. One, when I suggested using like drawing yourself 3 times, sometimes just having yourself as a you could get closer, and you could do a progression by like moving in and out of seeing your character. So if you're your face in one panel can be kind of small and it gets larger, and that can draw you from one panel to the next. You could also, like, let's say you're drinking coffee, again, like going in and out of the coffee toward the mug, away from the mug. Okay, we're gonna go to the next. Time is also just using time as a progression. I'm not clear about that. So the words can even help you progress from one panel to the next. Of course. 15 more seconds on this one. Okay, on the last one, we're just going to do 2 minutes because I want to make sure there's time for folks to share. Okay. So it looks like we have 11 minutes, although I can stay longer. So for anyone who also, let me switch to gallery. Anyone else who can stay longer, that would be great. But would anyone like to share?
Ellen, we usually ask people to hold up the hand. Is that the best way? How would you like to handle
Yes.
it? Okay.
Yeah, thanks.
And you can select, or I can select for you if you just want to go.
Can you select? It's a
Sure.
little.
I'll just select as they come up, since they sort of come up in order that they've done it. So, and then I'll post in the chat the sort of lineup. So first we have Rachel, then Cheryl, then Cassie. How's that sound? So Rachel, I'm going to spotlight you, and you can show Ellen and everybody what you did.
Hello. Well, okay. This is mine. It's about taking Calvin to school. We had gray snow. First I saw it in the grass. Then I saw it in the sky. And I walked through it, taking tests, COVID tests to a family. And then at least at the end of the day, Calvin saw me and ran to me at the playground.
I love that.
Thank you. It's
Okay.
hard, drawing past is hard.
Let me tell you something. This isn't kind of exactly what's happened. It's just what I thought of it. It's about seeing snow up close. And, oh wow, snow up close is so beautiful. But from far away, it's an icy, frozen, watery blob.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing. I love the drawings. I love the everything about that. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you so much for this.
Thank you.
Great. And just as a reminder, usually you share your hands. It's in the reactions if you're on Zoom, and then there should be a raise hand button. Some people I've heard that if you click through Eventbrite, you don't have that hand option. if that's true, go ahead and just mention it in the chat and we'll put you in the list. Thanks, everybody. And we'll go to Cheryl next. Thanks. There we go.
This is called phlebotomist. Form a fist. Feeling okay. Oh, I can't read it backwards. Something like at work, when we give immunizations, there's a box that you mark if you get dizzy, and then they mark the box and 5 minutes later they've thrown up on themselves. And then she goes, still feeling okay?
I love all the perspectives. I love on that third panel how the tops of the heads are just, that's all that's visible. It's just the words. That's, and the close up, that's wonderful.
Thank you.
Cool. We can go to Cassie next. The list I just posted in the chat. So there we go.
So at my work today, I was meeting with my coworkers on Zoom, and my boss asked my coworker David if he was having a bad hair day, and he said that his hair product had been confiscated by the TSA, and so I drew the TSA agent. I didn't see the TSA agent, so I kind of went off the prompt a little bit, but
no, that's great. No, that's great. And that's such a great example of like taking a snippet of conversation from the day. That's just awesome. Thank you.
Great. We'll go to Hannah-Laura next, then Mari, then Jared. Jared, take a look at the chat and you'll see. There we go.
Okay. Well, first thing I did this morning was I weighed myself, and it was a bad surprise. So I wrote, holy cannoli, I've grown rotund this month. And there's my scale, the Happy Porker scale that says 1 million pounds, and I feel like I'm a beach ball. And then I went to the post office. I remember I saw my 2 new ghost story books. Nice books though. And then I said, glad I've got the books because I remembered I'm supposed to write a ghost story this weekend. And there's a ghost all around my chubby self. And you don't have to be thin to do that. I saw the signs on my driveway, which actually do say beware of dragon, private drive, private, no parking. And the signs will keep people from disturbing me.
Wonderful. I love all the liveliness of the drawings and the shapes and compositions. So great. Thank you.
Awesome. We'll go to Mari next. There we go.
Hey, oh, okay. It's giving me pop-ups. So I'm a delivery driver for my day job. So I just was kind of like taking snippets from my day there, which the first thing was there was some sort of miscommunication and texting someone and them being like, why didn't you send my order? And it was in like the next suburb over. So that's why. And then I go back and there's another order for the same address. And then I go back there and this guy who told me he didn't order pizza, had ordered pizza. And then he didn't tip. So yeah.
I'm sorry to hear that. I love the pulling in and out. I love how in the third panel you have that figure in full, and where it started off is just the hand. That's great. Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks.
Cool. We'll go to Jared next. Here's our list. I can't. Zoom doesn't let me spotlight until we get unmuted or video on. So I'll wait for Jared to do that.
I'm sorry there wasn't a tip that
There we
early.
Oops. Here we go.
Do you want to tell them about what it is? This is you at school, right? This is when you fell down and someone picked you up at the car. And this is when Pumpkin Pie, the guinea pig, came and bumped against our feet. And this is the bonfire we made. Great.
Wow. I love that. I love all those drawings. The fire and the guinea pig, all this. It's really wonderful. I love your use. I love the use of color.
Thank you.
Beautiful.
Great.
Fire is great.
Thanks. Great. We'll go to Joe Kathy next. Here we go.
Mine is about one episode in my day. I went to get the paper. And
That's very good. Go ahead and close the
am I think I am. I went out to get the newspaper, and my neighbor across the street was with his little girl, and it had just started to snow a little, so I said pretty and held my hands up like referring to the snow, and he said beautiful and really smiled. And then I thought about my previous information about this neighbor was that he was a scary person, and that neighbor had experienced him having a gun with him when he answered his door. And I remembered also that my dog was scared of him because he did fireworks at night and my dog would shake. But then I thought, well, maybe the beauty of nature and watching him put his little girl on the bus changes things. And that's it.
I love the way you use color in this one, like the limited use of color, where you put it, where it draws your eye the best. It's really great.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Great. We'll go to Rachel Shiner next. Let me see. There we go.
So I didn't go very sequentially, but this is first coffee of the day, which is just as good as the second, third, fourth, and sometimes fifth coffee of the day. The next one is when I wake up, I see my old lady dog. She's 16 and she sleeps with her tongue out for some reason, but it is all kind of amusing to see first thing in the morning. And then I went out right before this class, I went out sculling, and that's not a great image of what it looked like, but it's really a wonderful thing to do. And then finally, my cat keeps walking in front of the computer, demanding to be fed. And so that's this class with the cat telling me to get off the computer finally.
I love it. I love that cat at the end. Everything is great. Thank you so much for sharing.
Great. I'm looking for Sabrina next. I think Sabrina came in through.
Oh, I don't think I came through Eventbrite, but can y'all see me?
Can you raise your hand? I can't see yet. Let's see. There we go. Now I'll replace you. There you go. Thanks.
Hi, I'm Sabrina. So I drew a 4-panel comic about like my day kind of in order. So first I went to the acupuncturist, and she was putting a needle like somewhere that I was like, she was putting a needle on my foot in like a place that was sensitive, and like before she even like put the needle in, I like jerked, and she said that like, oh, did you moved? And I was like, I thought it was gonna be painful. And then this is like me going to like the pharmacy, and the cashier was told me like Happy New Year after like I noticed that she was really energetic, and I was like, oh, maybe that's like how I am too, because I talk a lot. And then I was on the bus and I was texting my friend and telling him to call me when I get home. And then I do the last panel when I just came home like a few hours ago, and there was a guy riding his bike on the sidewalk, and our sidewalk's really small. And he was passing by the pharmacy, and I was like, oh, really, like down the street? And there was like a person in front of him, so I was like, oh yeah, that's not safe. So Yeah, that's what I did.
Those are great. I love the masked portraits and the really cool perspective and the way you use dark and light. Really great. Thank you so much,
Thanks.
Sabrina.
Yeah.
Well, I think we're going, I'm losing track of the list now too. I think we're going to Tim next. Here we go.
Yeah, that's me.
Yep.
Can you hear me?
Yep. Yeah. Hi, Tim.
Hi. So pretty mundane. Went for a walk. It was pretty chilly this morning. Can you believe that? Southern California. Then that was my lunch. And I read the newspaper and practiced my accordion.
I love these, Tim. I love all the little details, like the fruit, like the bananas and the looks like berries and the accordion, the details of the keys. Really lovely.
Thank you.
Great. I think we're going to Michelle next.
Hi. Am I on?
Yep.
Oh, there we are. Okay. Hi. So here's the whole thing. At 8:20, I made the same lunch I make every morning for my son, which is 6 Ritz cracker peanut butter sandwiches. And then 4 hours later, I realized, oh, he forgot them. And it was just before I was about to have a big interview. So I wrote to the school counselor because my son has type 1 diabetes and he has like a double PE period today. So I imagined him passing out, which they wouldn't let happen. But then he came home and I asked him if he ate lunch. And he said no, because it wasn't in my backpack. And then I'm reminding you all that he's in middle school. And then I responded, as one should, with the stupid but cheerful approach that I learned from This American Life. Oh, that's okay, because I called Jen and she took care of you.
These are great. I love that. They're great drawings.
Thanks.
They're fresh and like, thank you for sharing.
Sure.
Okay, I think.
I love the six sandwiches from the start.
I think we're going to Yvonne next. Here we go.
Read myself. Okay.
There we go.
All right. So the first one is, I came home from my AA meeting and decided to watch the Robert Scott Bell show. And he's talking about the trucks in Canada. And then my sister called and we caught up since we hadn't spoken for a couple of days and laughed about a mutual friend. And I say, Jonathan, she says, Jonathan called me on my patterns. That's the phone. And I say, yeah, he's good at that. And then around 5 p.m., after I got off the phone, I went into the kitchen to make a very small dinner and saw a roach on the counter. I live in New York. And I say, holy shit, gross. And the roach says, I'll just sit here. Maybe she won't see me on the counter. And my cat, who usually catches the roaches, says, I'm not into it right now. And then I smashed it and flushed it down the drain. I turned on the sink. And I say, no roaches, welcome in my home. I wrote, no remorse. And the roach, as it's dying, says, goodbye, cruel world.
I love those drawings. I love the dialogue. I love how you drew yourself with the big eyes or glass. Maybe those are glasses, but then all the animals talking. That's great.
Thank you.
Delightful.
Okay, I think we're going to Jen Spence next.
Hey, there I am. Okay, so I'm an art teacher and today was the last day of the semester. And long story short, the state testing got canceled. So I had my APR kids all week. So today, this was what I saw all in the classroom, and that's everybody busily working, trying to finish their third piece for their portfolio before the end of the semester. This is Tamani and Anais, and there's Laguerre. And then over here, there's Laguerre. He's painting, and he has a bunch of gouache stuff out there. And Anais is also painting, and Tamani's doing digital artwork. And then there's Kiona and Abby, and they're busy working on Photoshop on their laptops. And that was my AP art day.
Great drawings. I love the far away and getting closer, and then individual and wonderful drawings.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jen.
Well, I think we're going to Susan next. Hi, Susan. There we go.
I don't know which Susan.
Me, I think. So, so 4 moments from my day. In this one, we're all trying to learn to use proper pronouns out of respect and support for all of the people in our community. We had a new technique today. If I hear you mispronouncing someone, I will say, ouch. And the person is to say, oops, just to make it, call attention to it, but not like make a real big deal. And then I went out and am trying to draw my neighbor's chickens. It's hard to draw moving animals. And then later I got a text from a friend who was struggling with brain fog. But earlier in the day, I heard this great talk about how many projects to work on at a time. And the question was, are you an octopus or are you a phoenix? Octopus like to work on lots of projects, but have to be really good at time blocking. And phoenixes focus on one project, and at the end, they crash and burn.
That is so good. Love the drawing, Susan, and the use of color, and also the space around the drawings. Really so great. Thanks,
Ellen.
All right, we're going to Jeff and Shirley next. There we go.
That's you. So why don't you tell us about what you drew?
So what I did was right now, well, I'm a kid, so I went to kindergarten, and at lunch, I got to listen to some music, so I was dancing, and this is a picture of me shimmying, because, well, I inspired dancing. And I got a new letter to sit on, because, well, every day we have a letter to sit on, and I got to the letter U, so I changed my letter. And this is a picture of me trying to do my work at school. So, and that's what I did at kindergarten. And on the way home, I was picking some dandelion flowers, and it's a picture of 2 dandelion flowers.
Those are beautiful. I love the shimmying. I love all the drawings of yourself and sitting on the letter. So great. Looks like a good day.
Very good day, right?
Thank you.
Awesome. We'll go to NC next. Here we go.
Hi, folks. So I did like kind of an early morning flirtation interaction. So the first panel is like, I got a text showing my friend learning how to play a melodica, and my reaction to that, which is I've never heard of that instrument, like what is that? And then a picture of me looking it up on YouTube and finding like it was a video of a person playing to Howl's Moving Castle, like a piano and melodica piece, and sending that back to my friend, and then his reaction of awe of that musical piece. So kind of a call and response kind of thing, but it was fun to do. Thank you.
I love it. Thank you so much. I love all those drawings. What's the instrument? The first one?
It's called a melodica. It's like a keyboard with a tube. You kind of blow into it, kind of like a harmonica, but
Got it.
yeah.
Okay, awesome. We'll go to Roxanne next. Hi, Roxanne. Oh my God. Hey.
So, oop. Oh, I think I need to, actually, can you come back to me? I need to change my background.
Okay, after Martha. Martha, we'll go to Martha. There we go.
Okay, am I here? Yeah, I'm here. Okay, so this was my day. I thought we actually had 3 minutes for the whole thing, so it's a little scrabbly. But let's see. So my cousin and I drove up to a lighting store today in her big Subaru. And when we drove up, she said, "This place looks like a funeral home." And but when we went in, it was all full of lights and it was all brilliant and really blinding. And the store lady wore these very cool glasses, black, and a black mask. And on the way out, she said, "This place was once a funeral home." So,
wow. What a great, from the first panel to the last panel, what a great way to wrap that up.
So, thank you.
I love the different lines, the real thick lines and the thin lines. It's really great. Thank you.
Okay.
All right, we'll go to Roxanne. Roxanne, you ready?
Okay, cool. All right, so first panel, I think it's flipped. It says Greek yogurt for the chickens. It's going to be cold tonight, so I'm giving the chickens lots of extra food and snacks. And then Greek yogurt and honey for me. I'm holding the baby and watching Ben-Hur, and Miss Sala is saying, if I can condemn a friend, how they'll fear me. He's the antagonist. Milk for the baby. And then the fridge has food. The house is warm. And we got the chickens in the coop. They like to roost outside and snuggle with each other. And then I'm inside still watching Ben-Hur because it's like a 5-hour-long movie, and is saying I felt his voice take the sword out of my hand. And that's it.
Really beautiful drawings. There's that panel with the chickens. I could feel them. The chicken energy that you captured is amazing. I just saw the shapes, really lovely. Thank you.
Awesome. I have Marley up next. Let's see. There we go.
Yeah, hi everybody. I'm from Sydney. My drawing, I don't know if you can see it. I'm trying my best.
Oh, up. There's a magic spot you have to find.
I don't know how to do it. Does it work?
Kind of. I think getting rid of the background, unfortunately, might be the only way to do it.
I'll get rid of the background quickly. Virtual. Bear with me, won't be long.
Sure.
Is that better?
There's
Can
no
you see-
video, no video at all at the moment. Let's see if you can pop back on.
Can you see that?
Nope.
No. Well, that's the best I can do. How about that?
Your video is entirely off. Is it possible just one click on the bottom will turn it back on?
Oh, sorry. I beg your pardon.
There we go.
Yay.
Sorry about that. I'm new to cartoon drawing, but I've called this lock out. So I'm a grandmother and I'm getting ready to do a walk in the park. I don't know if you can see the buildings at the back and some skyline. Maybe not. And then I forgot my wallet. Oh, sorry. This was the first one. That was the first one with the skyline, going for a walk in the lockout. I forgot my wallet. And so I'm a bit annoyed with my hands on my hips. And then I thought, well, I'll be pretty glamorous with my stockings. and with my bag, my tote bag. And then eventually I put on my mask and said, well, back to lockdown.
Those
That's
are great drawings. I love them. And the that third one, it's like I'm surprised you just started drawing. I love the style. It's a great style.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thanks for.
So I'm going next in order of what I'm seeing with hands up. So maybe I think some people are dropping off. So Janice LH is next. If you'll, there we go. Let's see. Oops, hold on. Oh, hi, Janice. And there we go.
Hi. Hi.
Hi, Janice.
So today I saw my gardener. He chopped down all my trees and pruned it. I've been waiting a year for him to come. So finally he did the work and I paid him. He wants me to call him again. I hope he'll come again. Then I went on some errands because I was free. I could leave the house. And I went looking for those free N95 masks, but evidently California isn't in the first wave of getting some of those masks, and Costco was listed erroneously. So I was explaining this to another lady I saw there looking for the same masks. And then I was driving further into town and I saw the beautiful green hills, you know, in the distance and with the mustard all over them. And I really remarked how pretty that was. Of course, it's right in back of the California State Prison, because that's what I was driving by. And I just thought to myself, boy, they've got a really good view. You know, that and Alcatraz, I guess. Now I went to Costco, redwood trees for sale. It's a little big to put in a cart. And I was amazed that they would sell something so big. Is it?
What a great landscape. And I love your thick line and the way the images fit on the panels. It's really, really great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Tom?
Is that me?
We can't.
Can you hear me?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Hi, Tom.
I didn't know if I was getting called because I didn't hear my name. Sounded like it got frozen. I just did something about. I live in Cincinnati and it gets snow like very seldom. Can you see that? Should I turn it toward the light? No, I got the grid. I got it off the actual SAW website. So it's a small Foursquare. But basically, this is what happens, you know, in Cincinnati when it snows. All hell breaks loose. So I slipped. The car was sliding. Got snow going into the windshield. And then you're stuck in traffic. So it's all S words.
Those are great. I mean, amazing perspective and the lettering. It looks like it's really great, really nice.
I was just playing. But yeah, this is a fun project. Thank you.
Thank you, Tom.
All right, we'll go to Umi next, if Umi's there. I think I was muted last time I was trying to do this.
Hi. Could you wait for a second? I need to go to the bathroom and come back.
We'll go to Audrey and then we'll come back to you, Umi. How's that sound?
Thanks.
Okay.
I only could think of two things. So the first thing today is my mom doesn't drive, and so I go every once in a while, or maybe once a month, for her to get a big load of groceries, the heavy stuff. And she's having a friend come to stay with her for about 3.5 months. So we had to go to the liquor store so she could stock up on provisions. And then I asked her, are we going to go to the grocery store too? So there she is in the aisle for the wine and the boxes of wine. And then I went to get my niece a baby gift, and she wanted this they're called baby kites. This obviously is an exaggerated size of it, but that's what happened there today.
Great, but that the great drawings. That the drawing of the aisle was very cool from the sort of overhead perspective and the wide. It's a real mood. Great job.
Thank you.
Cool. All right, I'm not sure if Umi's back. I'll let Umi respond if she is, but otherwise we'll go to Sinan. There we go.
Hello, everyone. So great to see you.
Hi, Sinan. So good to see you.
Hi. So this is from this morning. This is, I made some eggs for myself and my roommate, and it says eggs are ready. And then she said something like, I swear food always tastes better when like somebody else makes it. And then I said, oh, it's kind of like loving to go to the sleepovers at other people's houses and liking their house better. And then I don't remember the details, but we got into like a sort of a political discussion, and things got really heated. And then we got in a fight. Yay, end of it.
That's great, Sinan. I love the dialogue, and I love the close-up at the end of the fight. And so good to see you.
Thanks so much.
I just saw in the chat people are asking about my Instagram. It's Ellen O'Grady Art.
Do you want to type that in? Just
Oh yeah, sorry.
Exactly right. Umi, are you back? Okay, let's go to Linda. There we go.
Hi. Thank you so much. It's giving me some dialogue box. I don't know what that is. Let me close that up. Okay. So I got a beautiful new ceramic cup from this man I took a class with, and it has a little bird on it. I made my Arabic coffee, and it's in there. And then I was giving my doggies some treats. Oops, let's see. And my dog Baba Ganoush, he's very funny, and so he won't eat it. He looks at me and he waits for me to say, "I'm gonna get it," and then he'll eat it, and he growls. And then we were outside, and I got some cow manure for the garden, and Bubba's eating cow manure. So that's me and my hat way in the foreground saying, "Baba, don't eat cow poop," and Mia is licking her paws. And then I'm having my lunch out on the patio, and Mia's asking for carrots that I'm eating, and Bubba's sitting in the sun.
I love it. And I love Baba Ganoush as a dog name.
It's true. It means spoiled daddy in Arabic, and he's very spoiled.
As he should be. Thank you so much.
Great. Okay, we'll go to Umi and then Emma, and then that will be all. Here we go.
I'm sorry. So I think because I just woke up, I don't really like have a brain to work on. And I was thinking about the 28th is the yesterday for me. And so I did without writing any word. So I'm just, this is a process, but I think showing is important. Oops, sorry. I need to set it up the background off, right? So the first panel is that I'm arriving. There's a lot of snow. I'm arriving at the tobacco shop. I started smoking in the pandemic again after not smoking for 11 years. I didn't decide not to smoke or quitting or anything. So it's just like a good reminder for me to have a great time. And this is a tobacco shop owner talking to me, and this is the second panel. And he knows what to recommend because he sees how I spend my time I call my friend and we have the same cigars, and we talk online. We don't meet physically, but he was so pleased to hear the story, and he also knows that I spend time smoking with my cat. Well, my cat doesn't smoke, but like we go to the park and we walk around. I walk the cat, I guess, and then we spend 2 hours every day at the park. So I'm trying to play with the smoke and the snow. So here, I think this is the third panel is about the womb of our mental world that smoke is creating a nest for us, and the fourth panel is like the smoke is creating a tree, and the first panel it's a snow. So I'm working on it. Thanks.
I love how you use the smoke to conjure different feelings and the thin line. It's really beautiful drawings.
Thank you.
All right, and we'll close out with Emma. Great. Here we go.
Go ahead, Maureen.
This morning, me and Dad were going to the coffee stand, and we saw a little kitty, and I said, "Come here, kitty, kitty."
I love that. Beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing your drawing.
Amazing. Okay. I'm going to look for Ellen in this grid somewhere. Ellen, if you'll speak, I'll find you.
Hello, Tom. I'm here.
All right. Ah, there you are. Now I'll spotlight you so we can, there we go. So we can close out. Any final words or anything, Ellen? Can you tell us more about your book? Is it slated to come out soon or anything like that?
Depends on what you mean by soon. Not terribly soon. But I look forward to letting you know when it will be soon. But I was trying to put in the chat my Instagram so people could find me, and I was having a hard time writing because I'm so, oh wait. So let me just do that right now so people can see.
Well, while you do that,
Someone put it there for you. MJ put it
someone
there
did.
for you.
Okay.
Hey.
Thank you.
Speaking of which, I'll take a final moment to put up next week's URL if you want to sign up for that. There it is. And usually we just close out real fast by telling everyone to unmute and giving a bunch of applause to Ellen for visiting. Ellen, thank you so much for this, and thank you for staying on. Eating so much great.
Thank you, Ellen.
Thank you.
Join us next week for MJ. Thanks for coming to Saw. Thanks. Share online.
Bye-bye.
It's actually kind of fun to go check out Instagram in the next couple of hours and look for the tag. Thanks, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Thank
you. Loved it.
Thank you all.
I want to know where Michael Wu is driving.